I guess I'll go first here. I guess for both of you, you've had a couple days now to kind of, I guess, think about what happened in Game 7. Can I just get your thoughts on the playoff run and the way it ended?
Yeah, I mean, obviously disappointing. Can't really be much closer than what we were. And if you're that close, I think it stings a little extra sometimes. So obviously accomplished a lot this year. Really proud of the way we, been written off by a lot of people so many times over and over again, and always seem to find a way to bounce back and create some momentum for ourselves. So obviously we're playing to win, so there's one team that's happy right now.
Connor, when you look at this, you obviously have never been this deep. You can't really go much deeper than Game 7 of the final. What did you learn maybe about, is it harder than you ever thought it would be, just mentally and physically, to go 4 rounds that deep?
You know what? It's very difficult. It's a very difficult thing to go through, but we've done it enough times now that it feels very normal, and I think the hardest part about it is just being patient, being patient in terms of while you're going through the run. It's you can only play one game at a time, and there's only one day at a time that goes by, and you can't ride the wave of the ups and downs, because there are ups and downs. There's a lot of them throughout a playoff run, and I thought our group learned a lot from this year.
Hey guys, this is for both of you. I know you guys are bitterly disappointed right now, and this is going to sting for a little while, but will there be a time when you get a chance to reflect on this run and what you guys did for this city and how close this group got, to just kind of enjoy and say, we did something special here today. We didn't finish it the way we wanted to, but it was a special, special run.
Yeah, I mean, of course it was a special run. I mean, I think anytime you can, get pretty much a full country behind you, it's special, and it's obviously a lot of fun being in those games, and the stakes don't get much higher than or bigger than what we were playing. It's obviously, again, disappointing. It's frustrating that there's only one team that can win, unfortunately. So, but again, very proud of what we've been through this year, and how we I guess had a whole country rooting for us.
Leon, just over here.
You want me to answer that too? I guess, it'll take some time to obviously get over, first and foremost. But at the end of the day, you are going to have to get over it at some point, and we're going to carry on, and we'll get ourselves ready for another important season, and get ourselves ready to do it all over again. That's all you can do. And will there be a time to look back? There's lots of happy moments throughout those playoffs, for sure. A lot of great moments that I'll remember for the rest of my life, and a lot of just seeing the. We sat in here after the Western Conference Final, and the streets are crowded with people going crazy and celebrating, and to know that our team and our group were the ones and the reasons they were happy and celebrating. That's a great thing, to bring joy to a fan base and to bring joy to people in today's day and age is an amazing thing. And I think our group just feels very grateful that we have the opportunity to do that for Edmonton and all those Oilers fans out there.
Leon, It's the ultimate elephant in the room, so I have to ask, your contract situation this summer, is it your preference to sign an extension? And what factors are you kind of considering as you go about that decision?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the most boring answer here. I'm obviously, going to sit down with my agents here and talk to the Oilers and see what their plan is, see what our plan is, and just go from there.
Leon, do you have any sort of timeline on when that would be? Is that something you want to accomplish this summer, or would you be willing to take it?
I don't have an answer to that for you. Obviously, I haven't had any time to really think about it. It wasn't on my mind a lot lately. So it's just something that, it's going to take a little bit of time to figure out what I want, what what the Oilers want, what everyone wants, and then go from there and figure something out.
And sorry, is it Edmonton first, and then you'll view whatever happens down the road after that, or is it open?
I mean, Edmonton has the only chance to sign me, so I guess they are first. Yeah, but we'll see again. I'll leave it at that. Obviously, I love being an Oiler more than anything. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I'd ask you, Connor. You guys are pretty tight. I'm sure good friends discuss things like that. What are your thoughts on him and his contract situation this year?
Ultimately it is up to him and his team around him, and obviously I love playing with them, love being on the ice with them.
Leon, you're a guy that wants to win. Unfortunately, it didn't quite happen this year. There's just no way we could look around the league and see a team that's closer to winning a cup that hasn't than this one. There's only one team that's got your best buddy on it. It would be this one. There's no question this team's got enough money because you're the kind of player that you are. We can't think of a reason why you wouldn't want to sign here. Can you?
I guess not if you phrase it that way, the way you're phrasing it. But no, again, it's gonna take a little bit of time here for me to figure out an answer or what we want to do, and I'm well aware of what's going on, but I haven't spent much time thinking about what really are the facts and what I want to do. So I'll just leave it at that, and we'll figure it out when we get there.
Good morning, guys. I understand this is super fresh, so if you don't have an answer, no problem at all. But this will be for the both of you. Connor, we'll start with you. What's one thing about this Stanley Cup playoff run that you guys had, one game away, one goal away, that you will take most with you in seasons after this?
That's a good question. I mean, there's lots. There really is lots. I think just the belief that we can do it. You know what I mean? Like, we can get there. I know we didn't do it, but the belief. I feel funny sitting up here. We've sat up here before and told you how bad we want to win, and looking back, you're miles away from it, and now we're one shot away from it. The belief has never been higher, not only within us two, but within that room, within everybody. I would say that is the main thing.
And Leon, if you have an answer.
Yeah, I would agree. I think number one is just the belief that we've created this year or over the last couple of years, I guess. But to me, also, it's just there's no stage that's too big for us now. We've played in the biggest game of hockey that you can play in. There's no bigger game than NHL Stanley Cup final game 7, and we were like we said, one shot away from giving ourselves a chance, right? So yeah, just knowing that going forward, I think is gonna be really big for us.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, how's it going? I asked Connor and Leon this question. I was going to ask it both of you if you both could answer it. I know right now it stings, and it's going to sting for a little bit, and you're going to reflect on that game for a long time. But considering what you guys did for this city and what you guys did for the team, and this run that hadn't been, no one's gone on this run like this since 2006. Just want to know if you can take some pride and look back and kind of share on what you felt about this run and how it went for you guys and what you guys kind of did for the city, kind of rallying the city together.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, obviously, like it's fresh and stings, and it's tough to look past that a little bit. But I think we're going to look back and be extremely proud of where we got to as a group. But I mean, the city was incredible, and it was the most fun I've ever had by far playing hockey. And they've done a lot for this team, the city, and the support has always been incredible. And it was a ton of fun. But I think it's a little fresh still, of course. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things to be proud of, and we'll be able to use this and keep pushing forward here.
Yeah, I mean, similar to Nuge. Yeah, most fun I've had playing hockey for sure. Game 6 was maybe the best building, we'll ever play in. Like, it was amazing. The fans were amazing. I hope we have more opportunities to play in games like that. Maybe one day we'll have an opportunity to win a cup in front of fans like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just hard. Like, you go through a whole year and a run like that where you have everybody kind of behind you and you're making, you're creating this great story and you just fall short. It's hard.
This one's for Ryan. Just more behind the scenes. You've been on some teams in Edmonton that didn't make it to Game 7. Like, what were the biggest differences between the group that came within one shot of winning the Stanley Cup and some of those earlier Edmonton teams that you're on? Maybe more so behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've been a part of some really good hockey teams before, and obviously never got to this point. I think what separates this group is the heart and the belief that we had in this room, and we talk about it all the time, and people, I feel like, brush it off a little bit, but we believed in each other, and right down until the last couple minutes of that Game 7, we still fully believed that we were going to come back, we were going to find a goal, and we were going to win that thing in overtime. And I mean, just the determination and the will that this group has is probably makes it why it's so special to be a part of. You can be on a good hockey team, but if you don't have that, then you're not going to get to that next level. And we certainly had that, and we kept bringing it out of each other, of ourselves in all these different circumstances. So that's it. It made it a lot of fun to be a part of this group, and I think for me, that's the biggest reason we got to this point.
I guess both of you can answer this question if you can. Having played in the Stanley Cup final now, is there anything that you learned going through this experience that maybe you didn't know before this season? In terms of what it takes to win a Stanley Cup.
No, I mean, I think just belief. I think there's a lot of you go through a lot of hard times in the playoffs. Like it takes a lot to get to the Stanley Cup final. I think that's the reality. It takes a ton of work, and then when you're in there, I mean, I guess what we learned is don't go down 3-0. Like, you got to find a way to win a game. You can't put yourself in a position like that. You can look at the series. We thought we played well enough to win a game out of those first three. We didn't. We fall down 3-0, and we still have a chance to win. So I guess that you're never out of it. You just got to keep believing. But it'd be nice, to get on the board earlier.
Zach, you never been in this situation, either of you, Ryan, that you guys are back in less than 90 days for next season. How does that alter your off-season approach? Because I'm sure you need some downtime. Your body's got to recover and heal from whatever bumps and bruises. How much different will that be for off-season preparation for next year?
I mean, you have it two ways. In one way, you played so long that, sometimes when the off season's so long, you kind of forget. You don't forget how to play hockey, but you forget you lose that competitive edge a little bit. It takes a little bit of time to get it back. Obviously, we've never gone this far, but there won't be that big of a break. And so I think from that competitive side, like some teams that haven't played hockey in 2 months, like we're 2 months closer, I would say. And then a lot of the times when you do have a short off or a longer off season, you're kind of itching. You need breaks in your training because it's too long. So I think it'll just be less of a break, and we'll take a break now, and then you'll get into it, and then maybe take like 1 week before training camp at some point, at least for me, and then you're kind of back into it. It's honestly 2 months is pretty good. Like, I like playing hockey, so.
Zach, just on the far side over here. Leon, we all know his situation coming up here, and he was a big reason, I believe, why you wanted to sign here. Do you lobby in any way? Do you try to kind of, figure out and try to help him maybe come back to Edmonton, or how do you approach that?
I haven't talked to him once about it. I mean, he's still got another year on his deal. I know he loves playing here, so I don't know if there's any lobbying going on now. I think I'm sure they're in discussion. I mean, there's a lot of things up in the air, obviously, with our team, management, etc. So I don't know what's happening, to be honest.
Yeah, no problem. Not sure if you know this, but Game 7 was played 13 years on the day after you were drafted. In this journey, knowing what you know now, you already talked about the adversity that you've had to face early on in your career. How could the adversity you guys faced during this 25-game stretch help the Edmonton Oilers beginning in 24-25?
I think anytime you get experience like this in the playoffs, I think obviously the deeper you go, the better the experience, the harder the experience. It for sure helps you moving forward in your career as an individual, as a group. So, I mean, I think we're going to be, as soon as that puck drops next season, we're going to be hungry and ready to go, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's been a fun journey. I think I say it all the time. I think everybody goes through tough stretches. I know. When I first came in, we were kind of near the bottom of the league, but I feel like every player, it's rare for you to just jump into the league and be in a good team right away and make the playoffs every year. I feel like everybody's got to go through some tough years to learn and grow, and being on a group like this certainly makes those early years worth it. But yeah, it's the most proud I've been to be an Edmonton Oiler, and I've certainly been lucky and fortunate to be with this organization in the city for 13 years. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. You too. See you soon.
Hey guys, over here, I'll ask this for both of you, can answer it. I know it's kind of an odd season in the fact that you just wrapped up the season and free agency starts in 5 days, and both of you guys are penning UFAs. I don't know how much time you've had to think about it or not, but kind of, Warren, can you give us a thought, kind of on your season, and what's your thoughts heading into free agency?
Well, obviously it stings right now, right? The game is just a game of inches, right? And you're playing in the last game of the year for all the marbles, and you just come up just short. So, I haven't really thought so much about free agency, just because so much is just everything just happened, So it's been tough, right? That one's gonna hurt for a while, and I obviously. In the next couple of days, try to figure out what's going on and stuff. But I've always loved my time here. I've created so many great friendships. I love the city. The fans have been great to me. So obviously, I'd like to stay here. But I also know it's a business, and they also need to want to have me too, right? It's not just a one-way streak, and. But nothing but love for my time here, and hope everyone knows that when I was out there, I always worked my bag off, and it was always give an effort.
We've just had, I guess, preliminary thoughts as a family of what might be or what could be, and we don't know yet. So it's such a quick turnaround here that. A lot has to go on. The team's heading to the draft. Who knows what happens at the draft as far as trades throughout the league and all that. So there's a lot to go through. But just early thoughts. Just I love coming here and having the opportunity to chase the cup and play with the guys here, and felt like it fit in great with the group. So I think for me, I think there's anything on the table, and we just wait till I guess this weekend or next week to get things sorted.
I'll pivot off of Jason's question for both of you. You both scored 20 goals. So in this league, there's a price point that comes with that around the league as UFAs. How do you balance maybe the opportunity to win versus being paid a little more with an organization that isn't along in the process as much? Warren, we'll start with.
Yeah, I don't know. This is my first experience really ever being a UFA. So for me, I've always, my whole career, I've always been in the playoffs. It's 4 years in a row now that I've lost to the Cup champs. I feel like my game, I'm such a competitive player. I want to win. And I know the next couple of days that's a factor for me is a chance to win as well. So, I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah, I think there's a price for winning, being on a team like Edmonton that's so close, and year after year now, it's the Stanley Cup is the goal. For me coming in, it kind of renews the passion in the game a bit. I haven't had the opportunity to be in the playoffs for a long time, and have that opportunity to win. So for me, I think as far as dollars goes, there's an understanding of that it might cost a bit, but whatever that is, it could be worth it. in the end. So for me, I don't think, trying to prioritize, I guess, for myself and for my family, what is the most important thing moving forward will be key. And hopefully I got to get home to, have some discussions with everybody and go from there. But certainly, I don't think money is the number one thing for me at this point in my career and where I'm at.
Lauren, just over on the far side here, you've grown your game quite a bit here in the last 3 years, and had your career year, and you've talked a lot about how much this team means to you and the guys in the room. I guess to continue on the same vein, how much would it hurt to leave this team at this time?
Yeah. I've said it to you many times. Like I think of these guys like brothers, and it's been a crazy roller coaster my 3 years here, and it's kind of just our team as a whole, right? We sometimes just put ourselves in holes and then we get ourselves out of them, and it's a great group of guys, and it's not even just the players. The staff here is amazing. It's just a great place to play, and it would definitely be tough. It's I've created some really good friends here, and I've really enjoyed my time here, so it would be hard.
Adam, just being able to experience this run in this city, and how, like, from being in it as opposed to maybe seeing it from a distance, what was it like for you? What was it like for you and your family? And was it what you imagined it would be? Was it beyond what you imagined?
Yeah, it was pretty beyond what we imagined. It to be here and to see the city really, I guess, come together and celebrate each step along the way, it just got more and more intense. And to be, right in the heart of that, to see how much the team means to the city and to the fans was pretty special. And to be on the ice out there, to play in front of the fans here, there's certainly, I would think, the best fans in the league. So for me, that was special to be out there and to be a part of it, and to see the excitement around the city. And you're just running to fans. Everybody is so respectful to me too, being just out. For me, my family, we certainly loved every bit of it and enjoyed every bit of it too.
Well, you've been around a long time. You've played in Jersey's a good hockey market, but it's not a Canadian market. Anaheim's Southern California. Does it change your perception as a veteran player? Maybe the things you thought and guys told you when you were 23, when you look at playing the Canadian market today, do you have a different perception of it?
I don't know different, but to experience it firsthand was special. It's, there's obviously talk about it year in, year out, and sometimes negative, sometimes positive, whatever. It depends on, I don't know if it depends on each player, but to experience firsthand was really special, and probably exceeded my expectations. I loved my time in New Jersey and certainly in Anaheim too, but to come here and to see how much the team means to the fans it's on another level. It really is, and to see how much everybody cares, they feel like they're part of it, along with the players. So it certainly exceeded my expectations.
It'd be fun to win here.
Yes, very fun.
I have a question for each of you. Warren, I'll begin with you. You've done a great job of reflecting on your time here in Edmonton, but specifically in this 25-game playoff. There were moments where you were out of the lineup, and then there were moments where you were contributing on the top line. Maybe just take us through what you learned most about yourself in that journey.
When it's the playoffs, it's the we time, not the me time, and I feel like I've always been a pretty good teammate, and whatever role that I'm asked to do, I try to do it at 100%. And, that kind of was how the playoffs went for me on a personal level, the way it started, and, roles change, and, that whatever gives us the best chance to win, right? And that's why it's so special about this group is, you know, we got a lot of guys that are willing to do whatever it takes to win. And yeah, and so that's what I kind of would characterize my playoffs as. I do anything to help the team win, and whatever line I'm on, you know, I'm always going to give it my best. And you know, I thought I did that. And you know, I'm proud of the, you know, how hard we all played, and it just sucks just coming up a bit short.
Thank you for that. And Adam, for you, specifically when it comes to the people who were the letters on their chests, so McDavid, Nurse, Nugent-Hopkins, and Draisaitl, what did you learn most about this leadership group? Because you've been around some pretty great leaders in your NHL career.
Yeah, I mean, I think the group here, just the way each guy is a little bit different, I guess, in their own, how they lead, right? It's, and there's guys that have letters on their jersey, and there's guys that don't, that are still leaders. There's a veteran group in there. And to see, you know, I've been on the other side of playing against these guys, and it's not very fun. But to see what those guys, you know, specifically Connor and Leon, what the day-to-day, you know, they're the best in the world, but they're still trying to get better. So I think that drives the entire group to get better. You know, whether you're a first-line guy, a fourth-line guy, or a guy that's in another lineup, everybody has that drive because of those guys to get better. And I think that just pushes the team to another level. And then, you know, I think that speaks a lot to the depth of the group. You know, guys in and out of the lineup, everybody's ready to go for the team. And I think when that happens, it gives you the best opportunity to win.
Adam, over here, you moved around a lot, left wing, center, but in the playoffs, you actually found a line that was playing you know, with Janmark and Brown. And how enjoyable was that? And is that, you know, do you consider yourself a center or a winger?
You know, coming together as a line was great. I think we had some instant chemistry, I guess. Those two guys work extremely hard, and I found it, you know, very easy to play with them. So I think it was great for us to find that. You know, as far as playing center or wing, it doesn't really matter to me, I guess. It's wherever is needed. And I think, you know, again, for the group, and I think Nobber does such a great job of adjusting on the fly and moving guys center or wing. I think those are just great options to have, and again, kind of speaks to the depth and where guys can play on any given night. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's why I started smiling.
Hey, Connor. Just wanted to ask you about maybe if you can kind of reflect on your journey this year. Obviously, got off to a really tough start, but towards the end, you're back to where I guess you probably expected to be. Can you just give me a thought through the season, and how happy are you that it ended as well as it did?
Well, you know, it's obviously pretty, you know, kind of an emotional, you know, a few days since it all kind of happened. It still feels fresh. I think over the next couple of weeks, I'll probably take some downtime to rest and recover and do some reflection on the season. That was, you know, it was a bit of a roller coaster, and you know, proud of the resilience this team showed, and you know, it's easy to kind of show that resilience when you're surrounded by guys doing the same, you know, with you, and so just, you know, I'm just really appreciative for this group and for that season as a whole.
Looking forward, would you want to be back with this group for another year?
Yeah, of course. This is where I want to be. You know, I think my heart's here. Everything that we kind of went through, together. On top of that, just the fans and the kind of the patience they showed me and the the way they treated me when I scored, and it's a really special place to play. I think I'm starting to see that, and you hear about it, but it really is it feels like a team just getting better and better, and so many committed, motivated, determined guys, and the kind of guys you want to be around.
Vincent, just over here, I just wonder if you could describe kind of the end of the season for yourself personally, despite a very good year, obviously, down the stretch, not playing, and just what you think about your future with the club as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good season for me. I thought I got better as the season went on. I thought I got more and more confident. Thought I had some good playoffs too, and there were some changes made, and the coaching staff made, and it's part of the game. It's part of having a team that has great depth, and I was so proud of how Broby came in, and he had such a big role for us, and it was awesome to see. And obviously, it was frustrating at first. You want to play every game, and such a big stage, and you grow up, and that's what you want to be in the Stanley Cup Finals. You want to play, and but no, I'm proud of my season. I'm proud of my playoffs, and I'm proud of how the guys played and how they battled, and we were never out. And that's the belief that we had all season, and it was awesome to see. Obviously, it stings quite a bit the way it ended, but I think there's a lot of things to be proud of.
Connor, can you speak to Chris Knobloch as a coach? You had him in junior, but going through the whole playoffs, he seems so calm behind the bench when a storm's breaking out. Can you talk to his coaching ability?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably his biggest strength, and from what I remember in junior too is just his demeanor. I think he especially when the timing that he got here, and the attention that you can get playing on, your Connor McDavid's here, you're playing in Canada, and everybody wants to know, all the details, and I think that he does a good job of calming the storm and easing the ship, and with his demeanor and his character, and so I thought that he did a great job coming in this year. Not easy to not only be a rookie head coach, but kind of come into this situation, and obviously we fell a bounce short, but I think we have a lot to be proud about.
This is for Vincent. Similar to Connor, you can become a free agent. Do you see yourself in Oilers colors beyond the coming days here?
Yeah, obviously I really like my time here. I've always said it. This place is awesome. The fans are the best fans. The family that we created here, that we built, the chemistry, everything is awesome. Coming to the rink every morning this year was easy. But it's a business, and we'll see what happens, and hopefully we can make it work.
You're a guy your agent's phone hasn't rung every summer with a bunch of teams looking for Vincent Desharnais to play for him, but it's going to ring this summer, right? You waited a long time to get to a position where you've got some people that wouldn't want you to play for him. Can you weigh that for me at your age against being on a team that's so close to winning the Stanley Cup? How's that decision pan out for you?
Honestly, right now I'm just still trying to process what happened, the season, the playoffs, and I'll be in touch with my agent and within the next couple of days, obviously, to kind of see what happens. But as of now, I can't really give you an answer on that, and we'll just go one day at a time and see how we can make it work. And if not, I'll just hit the market, and we'll see what happens. And if I get more than one phone call, great. And if I don't, well, I'll take whatever I can get.
I think you'll have some calls, bud.
Yeah, if it's any consolation, I haven't had a call back from my wife in 15 years. So, Connor, just you get to a point in your career. Does it become about winning? as opposed to, because, you know, you obviously had lots of options last year. You chose the one in Edmonton. You're going to have some options based upon what you achieved in the playoffs and, you know, how much you helped the PK and got a roll. Is there a prioritization for winning versus, I mean, there might be a place, maybe not as good a team, and they might offer you more term or more cap.
Oh, well, I think, you know, it's about, you know, finding a place that is all encompassing to, you know, to the business side, to the impact you can have, the role you can have. There's a lot of moving parts, and like I said, my heart's in Edmonton, and you know, I'm a competitor, and the way that I want to play, you know, I feel like it's easier for me to commit to my role when you're on a good club like this, you know, to commit to defense, to commit to, you know, penalty killing and the type of game that I think that, you know, the depth guys on our team did a good job on when you're playing for things that seem meaningful, and obviously you're not, you know, in the outside looking into the playoffs.
So for Connor, why was the penalty kill so good? I mean, everybody talks about penalty kills, but it was creeping up to close to 100%. And why was it so good as the season wore on in the playoffs?
Well, I think tactically I would have some ideas without kind of getting into it. I think that Stewie did an unbelievable job of empowering us and asking us, you know, I came from a really good penalty kill in Ottawa. We had a great penalty kill and playing under Babs and DJ Smith, both really good penalty kill coaches, and they taught me a lot of little nuances on the penalty kill that I carried with me here, and I thought that we adapted. And you know, and Janitor carried a lot of nuances from his time in Vegas, and they had a great kill, and Eki had a great kill, and Stewie was a great killer himself. And so I think that it really was a collaboration of, you know, taking really good points from different guys' kills throughout their career, and I think that's kind of why we were able to, you know, find that really, really high level of penalty killing.
Question for each of you. Vinny, we'll begin with you. What were some of the changes that you made, either physically or mentally, that led you to having the best hockey season of your career so far?
I think the biggest thing was mentally. I think I just learned to just let it go. I'm pretty hard on myself. Always trying to have a perfect game. Obviously, it's not realistic, and especially in this league, players are so good. And I just learned to kind of let it go after games, and then the next day's a new day. I worked on that all summer. I worked on it all season long, and I felt more comfortable in playoffs. And the stakes are higher. There's more pressure, and I felt that all that work really helped me out, and I felt more calm and more confident on the ice.
Thank you. And for you, Connor, you've talked at length about the physical adversity that you've had to deal with this season, of course, coming off a major knee injury. But between the ears, how did adversity help Connor Brown become the Connor Brown we saw in the late stages of these playoffs, contributing at the rate he was?
Well, I think, you know, adversity is interesting because, you know, it can really mold you, and it can build you up if you use it in the right manner. And you know, there was times at the beginning of the year where I was facing adversity, and I don't think I was facing it as well, and I think it snowballed me kind of in the wrong direction early in the season. Whether you know, felt like I wasn't jumping, you know, didn't have my jump on the ice, and you know, hitting posts and. But you know, I think I took a hard reset at one point throughout the year, and started to use that adversity in the noise to my advantage, and it fueled me to be more motivated, more of myself, and I feel stronger between the years than I have throughout my whole career. So actually, at this point, quite grateful for the adversity of the season.
One more. Connor, I just want to ask you about, I know you and I talked during the Cup finals, and you kind of opened up about you were in pain even like last July, August, recovering from the surgery, and then you were rehabbing as you were playing during the year. You look ahead to this summer and being pain-free, number one, and how that's going to be able to help you even more, and are there specific things you're going to want to focus on in your game to help you next season?
Yeah, I'm incredibly motivated right now to have a summer of hard training and to stronger, faster. So I'm obviously going to take some time to reflect and rest. But I think when you get a sniff like that and you fall short, the silver lining can be, you're just that much more motivated to get back there. I feel very, very motivated, and I know that whole group in there feels motivated. So, like you said, last summer I was rehabbing still. This summer I'll be training, and it's going to be a big difference. And so, I plan on being that version of myself that the city got to see down the stretch right from the get-go.
Ça a été 2 longs mois et demi de séries éliminatoires. Parle-moi des émotions que tu as vécues pendant ces 2 mois et demi-là, puis aujourd'hui, à la suite de tout ça.
C'est sûr, c'est beaucoup de up and down. Je pense que j'ai fait un bon travail à rester le plus balancé possible. Je pense que c'est la plus grosse différence avec l'année passée, les séries, puis cette année, c'est que j'ai resté calme, j'ai resté confiant, puis même si des fois je faisais une erreur, si des fois ça allait un petit peu moins bien, je laissais ça derrière moi, puis j'ai pas joué 3 games en 3e série, puis rendu game 2 en Floride. C'était une situation qui n'était pas facile à rentrer, puis je trouve que j'ai super bien fait, puis c'est la business, t'apprends, c'est des belles expériences, se rendre en finale de la Coupe, c'est un rêve d'enfant, se rendre game numéro 7, c'est un rêve d'enfant, puis d'avoir été aussi proche de gagner, ça fait encore plus mal parce que tu le vois, tu le sais que tu es là, puis c'est un lancer, un poteau qui aurait fait une différence. Fait que c'est une année assez incroyable, puis je suis vraiment fier de ce que j'ai pu accomplir.
Tu es maintenant joueur autonome. C'est quoi ta priorité dans les prochains jours, prochaines semaines? Est-ce que c'est vraiment de négocier ici ou de regarder ce qui s'en vient des autres offres que tu peux avoir ailleurs?
Oui, je vais être en contact avec mon agent dans les prochains jours. Pour voir justement c'est quoi qui s'en vient. Puis évidemment, si je peux rester ici, ça serait super. Mais comme que j'ai mentionné, c'est une business. Puis s'il faut que j'aille le 1er juillet, que je sois autonome, je vais l'être.
Merci.
Hey, Mateus. Just wanted to ask you about, first off, your thought on the run. I know it's still fresh and it still hurts. It's kind of hurt for a little while, but just the thought on what you guys accomplished here, just getting a goal away from the Stanley Cup final. And also want to ask you about your future. How does it look? Do you think, what are the chances of you coming back?
Yeah, probably starts honestly like we showed up as a team early before the season. Really committed to have a good year, and then kind of got kicked in the face right away and dug ourselves a hole, and brought ourselves back from that. And then you get to the playoffs, and it was a great run. It's been a great year with everyone in that room, and you go through a long playoff run like that, you get close to everyone on the team, all the staff. Everyone has done an incredible job and invested a lot, and you end up, like you said, a shot away. So that's a tough feeling, but it's been a really fun ride, and just didn't end the way we wanted.
Would you, looking back, it's you get that far and you missed by a goal, or maybe two. Is there anything, looking back on the season, that you would change for next year? Is there anything you'd say, maybe if we did it a little different, we'll have, that much more left? Can you say that?
I mean, yes and no. Not really, no. I think we put it all out there this year. We came that close. I think if you go back to last year when we lost against Vegas, I think we felt like we were right there. We felt like we could have beat them, and they ended up going to win. We felt like we were good enough to win. But I think we also knew that there were things in that series and things in that playoffs that we didn't do that well and that we needed to get better at. Whereas I feel this year we kind of feel that I think this team feels that if you just go out next year and do the same thing we did this year, we're going to be right there again and hopefully win the last game of the year.
You've been a free agent more than once in your career. Is it different when the team that you last played for was this close to a Stanley Cup? Does it change your free agent thinking when the team you just played for missed the Stanley Cup by such a small margin?
Yeah, I mean, at this point in my career, you really only care about winning. So for sure, if you for thinking about leaving here, it's obviously incredibly tough because you know that you're so close. So that's for sure part of it, and you have to take that into consideration, and then make your decisions from there.
You might have been one of the best forwards in the Stanley Cup final. I think that's a fair assessment. And the work you guys did on the penalty killing was off the charts. Obviously, you bought into your role. What do you think it was that allowed you to get to the level that you were at? I mean, you've had success in the playoffs before, but what made you, is it just part of who you are now as a player?
Yes and no. It's hard to say that you're like that as a player. You try to be. Doesn't always end up that way, but you try to be as good as you can when it matters the most. I think as far as this year went, didn't have my greatest year in the regular season. I thought I played pretty well, to be honest. Thought I did what I needed to do on a lot of nights. Didn't end up in the score sheet, but then you're kind of, we were winning games a lot of the, you take away the start, we were winning a lot of games and everyone was contributing in their own way, but then you get to the playoffs, and I think for me that's when you need people to get out of their comfort zone a little. You need to get contributions from people that are like myself. I scored four goals the whole year, but I was never really too worried about it because I knew that if you can score even just one big goal in the playoffs, that'll make up for all of it. So that's always what you're looking forward to, and maybe that's what brings the best out of you when it comes down to it in the playoffs. Try to make up for everything else.
Matthias, just to build on that personal reflection element there, wherever you start the season next year, how will this playoff run specifically, but this whole season as a whole, through all the ups and downs, help Matthias Janmark in 24-25?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it was a tough year. Personally, if you look at the points, I never thought going into the year that I would only have 12 points and whatnot, but you kind of grind through it, and thought I played pretty well on the defensive side on the puck and got better there, and you kind of learn how to play and how to be effective maybe when you're not scoring, and then the playoff run was great. Obviously, like every playoff run you go on, you learn from it, you get experiences, and this year we got a lot of experiences. We were down 3-2 against Vancouver, and we were able to come back, play Game 7. We were down 2-1, and then obviously we were down 3-0 in the final, and took it to 7 games. So those are experiences that will always be valuable when you play another playoff.
Matthias, you've played for a lot of coaches in this league. What makes Chris Knobloch as good as he is, and he seems very calm behind the bench when sometimes there's a storm going on the ice.
Yeah, for sure. The way he came in and where we were at when he came in, it's not easy to stay calm because it's a lot of pressure to, get the ship back in the right direction. And it wasn't always easy, but he stayed calm, and I think it made us better as players and as a team. And as far as other coaches I've had, I think you always go through coaches, and they're all different. And I think for myself, throughout my career, with every coach, there's always something that you reflect back on that he was really good at, whether it's on the offensive side, defensive side, PK, power play. There's always something that stands out for them. And I think with Naber, I think he's got a lot of different components that like other coaches have had that I could tell right away. And I think that he's only going to get better too as the years go by.
Matthias, just on this far side here, I know you said you like it here and that you want to win, but at the same time, you've had to take some pay cuts over the last couple of years, and I don't think you've ever been on a multi-year deal except for your ELC. So how do you prioritize that to try to get some money and also a multi-year deal?
To be honest, with the year I've had, I haven't thought much about the future. I was probably not expecting to have a lot of offers the way the year went, and then probably salvage a little bit of that in the playoffs. So yeah, free agency is coming up here quick, so I'm gonna have to start thinking about it a little. But yeah, you want to win. Like I said, it's tough. It's always tough to leave a team, players that you feel like you can win with. So that'll have to go into consideration, and then you'll have to look at your options. And I don't think I'll be able to turn down too much money, to be honest. I don't think there's going to be too much out there. But yeah, I want to win, and we'll see what's out there. This will always be one of two or three options, and we'll take it from there.
Matthias, as you talked about, you had a nice playoffs too, in your words, salvaged the year, but I thought there might have been a jumping off point for you a little bit in February. I know it's not at the top of your resume, but what did your little run-in with Blake Coleman do in terms of jump-starting your season? Because from my perspective, that was a bit of a jumping off point for you.
Maybe that's the way it goes. I think when something like that happens, maybe you gain a little confidence from the coach, from your teammates or whatnot. But I think that goes to what I said before. You go through a year where you struggle, you feel like you play pretty good, but you're not getting the goals or the assists or whatnot. Then you got to find ways to be effective and play, and maybe that was a part of that. Getting a little bit out of your comfort zone and learning that side of it too, and growing. I feel like that's how I got better, and like I said, if things are not going your way in certain areas of the game, you got to find ways to contribute in other areas, whether that's on the PK or defensive side or something like that. So.
Matthias, a couple of the guys said that you gave a little bit of a passionate speech earlier in the season after a loss. I don't know if you recall, but can you walk us through that? And looking back, just the fact that teammates still cite that, what does that mean to you, getting that type of recognition?
Well, I don't know. We had a really rough start, and there was never a lack of wanting anything or anything like that. It was probably the opposite, I think. We were so, dating back to losing to Vegas, this whole organization was so eager to come back and perform this year and win the Stanley Cup. And then you go on you get off to a start like that, and you could just tell. And I just came back from an injury. I was gone for 10 games and played a game, and I think we were trying really hard, but maybe we were going at it the wrong way. And I'd been through a similar start in Dallas, where we had the same expectations on ourselves, and we came out and started 1-7-1 or something, and we got out of that in a certain way, and so I just spoke up after that game pretty much and said that I've done this before, but it's not just going to come. We need to start doing some things better, and then it will. But I also think at that point, like, it was gonna turn around no matter what. Like, we had too good of a players in that room to not score more goals and win more games. But I think also to become the team that we thought we were and that we needed to be, we needed to start doing things a little bit better too.